Okay, well, thanks for coming today, and we're going to have a press conference with the Association of Ontario Neurologists, Dr. Singh and Dr. Meloff, and we'll take questions after some brief statements. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Ranjit Singh, neurologist in Guelph, Ontario, and to my right is my colleague, Dr. Keith Meloff, and we're here to talk about some of the problems that we are having with our specialty in the province too, and the problems that we feel exist. Not only this, we will take the unique opportunity of not simply belly aching about problems that we have, as is so common these days, but explaining why, but more importantly, offering you in a unique way what we feel are the solutions towards the end, which Dr. Meloff will speak about. We neurologists are specially trained physicians whose skill lies in our ability to diagnose and treat diseases of the central nervous system, that is the brain and the spinal cord, and also diseases of the peripheral nerves that run up and down the arms and legs. These diseases number nearly 600 or more, and it's growing. And maybe I should point out at the outset is that we are not neurosurgeons, but we do work closely with neurosurgeons. Some of these diseases you're familiar with, and they include conditions such as Parkinson's disease, even epilepsy, migraine, stroke, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. Many of these conditions have already been publicized in the public eye. There are many others, however, like stroke or impending stroke, diseases like myasthenia gravis, which is a very serious form of muscle weakness, affecting both adults and children. If there are caregivers or loved ones of patients with these conditions listening to me or seeing me, I would like to greet them, and I would like to say that we are here because we are concerned about you. We're concerned about the facilities that are being offered, and we are here specifically to engage the government in an attempt to get our problems solved. The diagnosis of most of these diseases requires very careful history-taking interviews with the patients, with relatives, caregivers, and a detailed examination of the nervous system. Imagine an elderly person is brought to you with memory problems. This is probably impending Alzheimer's disease. This is causing a great deal of distress in the family. It will require evidence from other family members, and the whole situation can be charged with emotion and distress. Very often we find ourselves in these situations. It takes time, it takes care, it takes compassion. And we are able to offer this, but we are worried about other aspects of our practice, as I'll explain in a minute. One should also realize, and this is something that has worried me for some time, that the kind of work we do is not solved by having a CAT scan or an MRI or even an EEG or electroencephalogram or electromyography. This kind of work can only be solved by the history and the physical examination, and this is where we have a very unique skill. We love our work, and we enjoy it. It's challenging, and there is no 2 days that are alike. Our expertise is also of crucial importance in managing conditions like stroke and diseases such as meningitis and encephalitis, acute inflammation of the nerves like polyneuritis, and so forth. Very rarely you might have situations like botulism. A patient comes in complete coma and unable to move muscles. These often present as dire emergencies in the intensive care, and they require a great deal of time and attention. I'm not necessarily blowing our own whistle, but simply explaining to you that some of the work we do is exceedingly complex, and it is stressful for all concerned, sometimes even us. I'd like to point out that there's been a change in the distribution of neurologic facilities in the province. Like in the 1960s, most of our graduates would have been located in the centers, such as Toronto or Montreal, London, and so forth. What happened is that there's been an outward migration of our colleagues from the cities into larger cities in Ontario. These include places like Peterborough, Guelph, Kitchener-Waterloo, and even as far north as Sudbury, North Bay. What has happened is that when we moved to these communities, the populations were relatively small. When I moved to Guelph in 1977, the population was of the order of 77,000 people, and now it has a catchment area of nearly 133,000 people. The American Medical Association has recommended a neurologist-patient ratio of 1 in 50,000. So clearly even Guelph now requires at least 2 more neurologists. Bearing in mind particularly that, I may be reaching retirement age soon. I don't know about Dr. Meloff here, but he looks as if he's probably doing the same. But the point is that if I retire in Guelph, there will be no services at the moment. Appointments to see a neurologist, even in Toronto, where there's a larger concentration, could take anywhere from 6 months to a year, depending on the condition.